Imagine, just for a moment, a weapon so powerful it can bend wills and shape destinies. It leaves no physical scars and honestly no trace evidence at all, yet it can cripple empires and, well, shatter lives. This weapon exists. It's not some futuristic laser or a mind control device. No, it's far more insidious. It's called dark psychology. Throughout history, battles have been fought not just with swords and shields, but with whispers and smiles. Behind closed doors, in those quiet corridors of power, the real weapons are often invisible. They are the tools of manipulation, wielded by those who truly understand the darkest corners of the human psyche. These individuals, they are masters of persuasion, pulling strings and playing on our deepest fears and desires. These puppet masters operate in the shadows. They thrive on secrecy, their motives often masked by charm and charisma. But their impact is undeniable. From the rise and fall of empires to the everyday dramas of our lives, dark psychology is a force to be reckoned with. It's time to shine a light on this hidden world, to understand its mechanisms and, learn how to protect ourselves from its insidious influence.
Dark psychology isn't about wearing black cloaks or, sacrificing goats under a full moon. It's far more subtle, far more integrated into the fabric of our everyday lives. In essence, it's the study and use of psychological principles to influence, control, or harm others for personal gain. It's the art of manipulation, of exploiting vulnerabilities and weaknesses to achieve a desired outcome. Think of it as a toolkit of psychological tactics used to deceive, coerce, or control. They might be charming, charismatic, even appear empathetic. But make no mistake, their ultimate goal is to gain power and control over others. Dark psychology is often invisible, operating beneath the surface of our awareness. It thrives on our blind spots, our implicit biases, and our deep-seated need for connection and belonging. This makes it incredibly difficult to detect, and honestly, even harder to resist. But understanding its core principles is the first step towards disarming its power.
At the heart of dark psychology lies a cluster of personality traits known as the dark triad. This term refers to three distinct but interrelated characteristics that, when present in an individual, can create a powerful and often dangerous combination. These traits are not just abstract concepts. They shape the way people think, feel, and interact with the world around them. These traits, while not always indicative of malicious intent, are often found in individuals who engage in manipulative and harmful behavior. People with high levels of these traits may appear charming or competent on the surface, but beneath that exterior, their actions are often driven by self-interest and a disregard for the well-being of others. First, narcissism. The narcissist craves admiration and validation, believing themselves superior to others. Their sense of entitlement is often overwhelming, and they expect special treatment wherever they go. They are quick to take offense if their ego is threatened and may react with anger or disdain when challenged. They lack empathy and are willing to exploit others to feed their ego. The needs and feelings of those around them are often dismissed or ignored, as the narcissist focuses solely on their own desires and ambitions. Imagine a colleague who steals credit for your work, basking in the praise while you're left fuming in the shadows. That's narcissism in action. In relationships, narcissists may use flattery and charm to draw people in, only to later manipulate or discard them when they are no longer useful. Second, Machiavellianism. The Machiavellian is cunning, manipulative, and driven by power at any cost. They are strategic thinkers, always planning several moves ahead and rarely show their true intentions. Deception and manipulation are their tools of choice. They believe the ends justify the means, no matter how ruthless or unethical. For them, loyalty and honesty are expendable if they stand in the way of personal gain. They thrive in environments where rules can be bent or broken. Picture a politician who spreads lies and misinformation to sway public opinion, caring little for the consequences. That's Machiavellianism at play. In the workplace, these individuals might sabotage colleagues or manipulate situations to climb the corporate ladder. Third, psychopathy. The psychopath is characterized by a lack of empathy and remorse, coupled with impulsivity and a tendency towards antisocial behavior. Unlike the other two traits, psychopathy is often associated with a chilling emotional detachment and a willingness to break social norms without guilt. Imagine a con artist who charms their way into your life, only to drain your bank account and disappear. That's the chilling reality of psychopathy. These individuals can be highly persuasive, using their charm to manipulate and deceive, often leaving a trail of victims in their wake. These traits can manifest in varying degrees, and not everyone who exhibits them will become a manipulative mastermind. Some people may show mild tendencies, while others display the full spectrum, making them especially dangerous in positions of power or influence. However, recognizing these patterns is crucial to understanding the motivations and tactics of those who seek to control and exploit. By learning to spot the signs of the dark triad, we can better protect ourselves and others from falling victim to their manipulations and foster healthier, more authentic relationships in our lives.
Manipulators employ a wide range of tactics to exert influence and control over others, often in subtle and insidious ways that can be difficult to detect at first. These methods are designed to undermine your confidence, distort your perception of reality, and ultimately make you more susceptible to their will. Here are 5 common ones to watch out for. First, gaslighting, a particularly damaging form of psychological manipulation. Gaslighting involves distorting or outright denying reality to make the victim doubt their own sanity, memory, or perception. Over time, this can erode a person's self-trust and leave them feeling lost and isolated. For example, a partner who constantly denies your memories or insists you're imagining things is using gaslighting to undermine your confidence and perception. This tactic can make you question your own experiences, making it harder to stand up for yourself or seek help. Second, emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail is a tactic that leverages guilt, fear, or a sense of obligation to get you to do what the manipulator wants. It often involves threats, either direct or implied, that something bad will happen if you don't comply. For instance, a friend who threatens to withdraw their affection or friendship if you don't comply with their demands is using emotional blackmail to control your actions. This can leave you feeling trapped, anxious, and desperate to please them just to avoid conflict or loss. Third, love bombing. Love bombing involves showering you with excessive attention, affection, and gifts early on to create a strong bond and gain your trust quickly. It can feel intoxicating at first, but it's often a calculated move to make you emotionally dependent. This tactic is often used by cult leaders, abusers, and even manipulative partners to lure in victims before revealing their true nature. Once the target is hooked, the manipulator may suddenly withdraw affection or become controlling, leaving the victim confused and eager to regain that initial warmth. Fourth, triangulation. Triangulation is a tactic where the manipulator brings a third party into the equation to create tension, confusion, or rivalry. This can be done to divide people, play them against each other, or deflect blame. For instance, a co-worker who spreads rumors about you to your boss in order to sabotage your career is using triangulation to sow discord and gain power. This tactic can create a toxic environment, making it difficult to know who to trust. And finally, guilt tripping. Guilt tripping involves making you feel responsible for someone else's emotions or actions, even when it's unreasonable or unfair. The manipulator may exaggerate their suffering or remind you of past favors to make you feel indebted. For example, a parent who constantly reminds you of their sacrifices to make you feel obligated to fulfill their wishes is using guilt tripping to control your choices. This can lead to feelings of shame, anxiety, and a loss of autonomy. These are just a few examples of the many tools in a manipulator's arsenal. Each tactic is designed to chip away at your sense of self and make you easier to control, often leaving lasting emotional scars. By becoming familiar with these tactics and learning to spot the warning signs, we can start to recognize manipulation in our own lives. This awareness empowers us to set healthy boundaries, seek support, and take steps to protect ourselves from those who would seek to control us.
Dark psychology is not a new phenomenon. Its roots stretch deep into the annals of human history, woven into the very fabric of our collective past. For centuries, people have used manipulation, deceit, and psychological tactics to gain power, control, and influence over others. It has shaped history, fueled conflicts, and infiltrated every aspect of our lives. From the rise and fall of empires to the personal struggles we face every day, dark psychology has left its mark on both the grand and the mundane. From the grand stage of global politics to the intimate setting of our homes, it's a pervasive force. Its influence is felt in the decisions of world leaders, the dynamics of families, and the choices we make as individuals. Think of Adolf Hitler, a master manipulator who exploited fear and prejudice to rise to power and orchestrate the Holocaust. His ability to sway the masses through rhetoric and psychological manipulation changed the course of history forever. His propaganda machine was a testament to the devastating effectiveness of dark psychology on a mass scale. Through carefully crafted messages, he was able to control public opinion, incite hatred, and justify unimaginable atrocities. The corporate world is honestly rife with examples of dark psychology. Boardrooms and offices become battlegrounds where psychological tactics are used to outmaneuver rivals and secure positions of power. From the ruthless CEO who bullies their way to the top using intimidation and fear to control their team, to the backstabbing colleague who sabotages others for personal gain, spreading rumors or withholding information to get ahead, manipulation is often the key to climbing the corporate ladder. The ability to read people, exploit weaknesses, and play office politics can sometimes matter more than talent or hard work. Advertising and social media are prime examples of how dark psychology is used to influence our thoughts and behaviors. Every day we are bombarded with messages designed to trigger our emotions and shape our decisions, often without us even realizing it. By tapping into our insecurities, aspirations, and fears, these platforms can subtly guide our actions, making us more susceptible to suggestion and persuasion. Marketers can manipulate us into buying products we don't need, convincing us that happiness or success is just one purchase away, even if it leaves us feeling empty afterward. Or subscribing to ideologies that are harmful, preying on our vulnerabilities and shaping our beliefs in ways that can be difficult to recognize or resist. Intimate relationships can become breeding grounds for manipulation. The people closest to us often have the greatest power to influence our emotions and decisions, for better or for worse. From the controlling partner who isolates you from loved ones, using guilt or fear to keep you dependent, to the emotionally abusive friend who constantly undermines your self-esteem, making you doubt your worth and question your reality, dark psychology can have a devastating impact on our closest bonds. It can fracture families, destroy friendships, and leave lasting scars on our mental health. These are just a few examples of how dark psychology permeates our world. Its reach is vast, touching every corner of society, from the headlines we read to the private moments we share. By understanding its pervasive presence, we can begin to recognize the signs and patterns of manipulation in our own lives and in the world around us. We can become more discerning observers of human behavior, learning to question motives and see through deceptive tactics, and most importantly, we can protect ourselves from its insidious influence, empowering ourselves to make choices rooted in awareness, resilience, and self-respect.